I'm Mary Portas, and this week I'm in York to help Lucy Weller. Lucy opened boutique Selkie for women who want to stand out from the crowd.
We did a photo shoot the other day and we used this lampshade as a hat.
But York's fashionable women just don't understand Lucy's alternative fashion taste.
But people don't really know what Selkie is. Somebody came past the other day and went, "What's this shop? What's Selkie? Who are they?"
I'm giving Lucy 4 weeks of my time to show her how it should be done. You are eccentric, Lucy.
I'm trying not to be.
It's you, because you love it, because it's a bit of embroidery, you know. You'll have that hanging as curtains next week. Lucy, you're selling fashion, because you ain't going to make money on this.
I feel like I should have been able to do this. I think that's what's really pissing me off.
I'm on my way to York. With a population of only 170,000, it may be a small city, but it's a major shopping destination.
There's millions and millions of people pass through here a year, not only just for the tourist attractions, but for the shopping, because the shopping here is actually really very good.
3 years ago, ex-theatre designer Lucy Weller opened Selkie, her idea of the perfect fashion boutique.
It's a bit like a dressing-up box or the wardrobe department of a theatre.
Lucy's made full use of her theatrical talents. She's let her imagination run wild throughout the shop.
I love doing the windows. Most Halloweens we do some sort of version of the haunted nursery. It's sort of like the idea of an attic where everything has been covered by dust sheets.
But York's discerning shoppers are shunning Lucy's fantasy world. Selkie is £80,000 in debt, and Lucy has no idea why.
We are definitely losing money. And it's like, I just don't know what to do. I think, what can I sell? What can I sell?
With every major high street brand and plenty of small boutiques, York's stylish 30-something women are spoilt for choice.
There is stiff competition if you're an independent, but I always look at that as a positive thing, because if you've got those customers turning up to shop, then you've got an opportunity to sell. But you've got to be damn good to do it well.
Do you know, I'd have passed this by. I would not have thought of this as a fashion shop. It's a mess. It's a complete and utter mess. It's not even though I'm expecting to be stopped by the fashion in the window, but I am expecting to be stopped by a fashionable statement. And actually, when I look in this, I see, you know, the Union Jacks and a bit of what looks like bandages. I'm sure it's not bandages, because that would just be hideous. But I feel like I've got some old war scene. It's an installation. It looks like the wrong sort of installation, and it doesn't say fashion. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Lucy.
Hello, Lucy. I'm Mary.
This is fun.
Nice to meet you.
Well, as I feared, the clutter and confusion is even worse inside. My first impression of walking in this shop is that I'm not in a fashion shop.
Yes, a lot of people walk past the shop and they sort of come and say, is it a vintage shop? Is it a junk shop?
But someone coming and saying, is it a vintage shop or a junk shop, is an issue, Lucy.
Yes, it is.
It is a real issue, and I actually would have walked past this. This shop is huge. 4 rooms over 2 floors and no logic to the way it's laid out. Tell me about this room and why it's different from that room.
This room, I think, is a place where often, when people are changing, they often have kids. So we have a doll's house there to kind of entertain people and somewhere that people can sit.
But there's no difference between the collections. There's not day wear, evening wear. It's just...
There used to be. We've sort of lost it a bit.
It's not just the layout that's confusing. The collection is eccentric too, with everything from extraordinary vintage dresses to very ordinary day wear. Quite basic jackets, yeah?
Yes. I mean...
That is horrible.
I actually agree with that.
OK, so are you buying horrible things, or is someone else doing the buying?
I used to have someone who worked for me who I thought was rather good. I've actually got that one in brown, and I love it. I'll wear it next time I see you.
I'd like to see that, actually, Lucy. I'd like to see that looking nice.
There's 2 more rooms upstairs, and in Lucy's confusion, she's created more of the same mess. So this is evening wear, I guess.
It sort of got a bit muddled in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, because you wouldn't wear a pair of old cords out in the evening, would you?
No, no.
Why would I, as a customer, make the effort to come up to this floor?
Well, I think that people actually really like coming up here because it's quite peaceful.
That isn't selling you frocks, Lucy.
No.
That's not selling you frocks.
I know.
Hidden amongst the tat and jumble, I've spotted some fashionable pieces. But because the shop looks like Miss Havisham's attic, it's no surprise they haven't sold. I look at this and I see what is quite an on-season leather bomber.
Yeah.
At £400.
Yes.
Which ain't cheap.
No.
And I'm not sure that you would get the customer who wears this coming in here.
With the window we've got. Or
With the
just
shop
with the
you've got.
shop.
Lucy's clearly got some fashion sense, but her priorities for her boutique are all wrong. People will buy into your taste or they don't buy into your taste. But it seems to me where your taste and your fun is in finding old Percy the poodle or, you know, the fish and making all these wonderful displays. Actually, Lucy, you're selling fashion because you ain't going to make money on this. While Lucy's been busy creating her weird and wonderful fantasy world, she's completely lost sight of the most important thing of all, the customer. I want you to just pick out 5 pieces from anywhere in the shop that you think are the ideal pieces that sum up Selkie.
OK.
And then I'm going to pick out 5 pieces, OK?
You're having such fun, aren't you?
What do you mean,
You know perfectly well.
I think Lucy should be tapping into the huge market of stylish 30-something women who aren't slaves to fashion, but want to look sophisticated and individual. York is teeming with them, so we're taking the best and worst of Selkie's collection onto the street. It's time Lucy found out what these potential customers think of her clothes. I'm going to show you 10 items, and I want honest opinions, OK? So don't any hurt feelings here. No, don't worry about
No, don't worry, I won't cry.
Okay.
No. 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 Too dressy.
Yeah, a bit see-through for me, that one. I would think I was more in a pantomime.
A slap on my thigh!
Don't even ask me about that one. No, don't even go there. No, no, no.
Pretty, but definitely not me.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think my grandmother had something like this.
There's more to come.
No.
Can I be honest? Totally honest and frank.
I don't like that at all.
OK.
I love that.
Lucy, you are not customer. Weird, wacky and way out may work in the theatre, but not on the streets of York. Lucy needs to understand what these women do want. Do you shop in boutiques or a mix of boutique and high street?
Mix of both, really.
Yeah.
Maybe Karen Millen or Whistle.
Zara, Mango. In terms of something a bit different, I would generally tend to go into Leeds. If you're going somewhere and you don't want there to be 20 other people going out in the same kind of thing, then...
Well, I tell you, I'm not going to see 20 other people in that.
Absolutely.
These women are buying from the more expensive individual fashion brands. They want classic, sophisticated style over cutting-edge fashion, and this is what Selkie should be selling. Do you know a boutique called Selkie?
I've been in it a couple of times.
And?
I've never bought anything anywhere.
Why?
It's quite hard to go through the rails and find out kind of what you should put together. I didn't go in for about the first few months that it was open because I thought it was a second-hand shop because of the window display.
The message is clear. To attract York's 30-something stylish women, Selkie needs a total rethink. If you just take the product for a start, the mix is so schizophrenic. You know, at one end you've got basic, some old bird that wants to come in and buy the most boring basic stuff, and at the other end, completely bonkers stuff that I can only imagine some old widow twanky in a pantomime would wear. And in the middle you've got nothing. You haven't got a commercial business. You haven't got a fashion collection.
I wasn't, in a way, prepared for the criticism. I think it's because the shop is so important to me. You know, it means so much that it works. And actually, I do want to save my business and what I'm doing.
Lucy moved to Yorkshire from London 6 years ago. I'm taking her back to one of her old haunts, the Portobello Road.
I get very excited by all this. My inspiration for Selkie came from here. It's like I sort of love that kind of exploring and dressing up. I love that, actually. I adore that.
Yes. And I understand you adoring that. And I think these are all the sort of things that do inspire you, you know, vintage, fabulous pieces. But you have to really ask yourself, and this is the big question, are there enough people in York who are going to wear this? Lucy's vision to give her customers something other than run-of-the-mill high street fashion is great. But what she's currently offering is just too unfocused. That inspiration, that love of dressing up, I think is important for you to keep. But it's how we hone that and how we make it commercial. Because that idea of the dressing up box and then jumbling it together ain't going to make you money. It just isn't going to make you money. A store that strives to offer shoppers something different is exactly what our high street needs. But what I've got to do is show Lucy she can be different and profitable. I've brought Lucy to one of London's most exciting new stores, the shop at Bluebird. I want you to look at this enormous space. What I love about this place is it has that wonderful kind of eclectic mix and these mad objects. I mean, look at the fox with the sunglasses on. They're completely bonkers there, right? But the ability to actually make it feel extremely modern and easy to shop. This shop has a real sense of fun. It's full of quirky props and eye-catching displays, but what's very clear is that its main purpose is to sell fashion. Can I introduce you to Lucy?
Hi, Lucy. How are you?
Lucy, this is Belle, who owns this wonderful establishment. Since Belle Robinson opened Bluebird in 2006, her unique mix of established and edgy designer collections has become an unmissable one-stop shop for London's stylish men and women. Just talk us through, Belle, how you kind of break up the shop.
We've divided the clothing up into 3 sections. We've got our more casual section over here. This is what I call the sort of accessible fashion. And then down at the far end, we have our more couture labels, our more designer luxury end of the store.
Bluebird has the feel and charm of a market, but a great deal of skill has gone into the way it's laid out.
This is obviously the accessory section.
Yeah. Look at that. Look how simple that is to do. It's a wall with a powerful colour, which really guides me from the back, and it's selling handbags. This clever balance between props and fashion is exactly what Lucy needs to achieve in Selkie. Look at that. I just love that. It's the most simple thing to do. They've juxtaposed a very old vintage silver tray with very modern shoes.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Thank you.
Do you see it? Do you get it, though,
Yeah,
Lucy?
I really get it. Sort of like a bit like the V&A. I sort of really want to look at things, except that this is selling the product well.
The most important thing about this shop is the fashion, because that is what Belle is selling, is fashion. And yes, there's a wonderful props, but using them in the right place. And it's about that balance. You know, I walk into your shop and the first thing I see are the props and it's cluttered. So it's about letting all the fashion breathe.
I am an amateur at this and I want to be a professional. It's an exciting, I mean, it's a really exciting business. And I'm beginning to really feel that. I wasn't that excited before, and now I am.
What Lucy's starting to realise is that how you display the fashion is crucial to a shop's success. An area where every shop needs to get it right is with their windows. They are a retailer's biggest form of advertising. Now this is when display really works. This is a window, but I can walk into it and buy. And what they've understood here is the use of colour, the use of props, but also, the most important thing, how the product sings, how the product speaks to you and makes you think, I want this. I want to sit on this. Oh, bliss! You know, and that's what Lucy has to learn. Yes, have props. Yes, tell a story, but you have to do it beautifully and with an understanding that the product needs to sing. Lucy prides herself on her ability to dress a window, but her haunted nursery has nothing to do with fashion.
Here we are, Lucy. Outside one of my favourite stores in the world, Liberty. I mean, these windows inspire me to go in. You know, they really are a visual feast.
For over 130 years, Liberty's 12-shot windows have been stopping shoppers in their tracks.
And you've got a mix of fashion, you've got a mix of homeware, you've got a mix of books.
And you can really see each thing. I mean, and I think that's sometimes the problem for me is it all gets in a bit of a sort of jumble.
They need to sell from this.
And it's quite eccentric as well, actually, isn't it?
It is eccentric, and that's why I brought you here, because you are eccentric, Lucy.
I'm trying not to be.
No, it's OK to be eccentric. I can be who you want to be. But you've got to manage how you sell that eccentricity, if you're going to sell it, beautifully and to a big enough audience. And they are doing this.
Yes.
Every month, these windows are changed. 11 have just been redressed, but I've arranged for one window to be left empty for Lucy to dress.
This is the prime window. You have to style that window within a couple of hours, and you should be able to do that, OK?
Liberty's windows are the responsibility of creative director Tamara Salmon. I've arranged for her and the visual merchandiser Simon to give Lucy some tips on creating eye-catching displays that also encourage us to buy.
Windows are key for us, so whatever we do has to reflect what we're about, which is a design-led company. We have amazing things in here, from pieces of art to clothing to shoes to prints to all sorts of things. So
it's a really eclectic kind of fabulous mix.
And it's very unusual thing, so trying to represent that in a window so when someone's walking past they go, oh wow, I really want to go into that store.
I noticed Lucy, when we came in here, had her eye on Mo, that little dog. Why, if you just went for the vintage, would that not be right?
Because it isn't about today. It would look like a junk shop.
OK, and that's what you need to take into consideration. Think, OK, here's maybe a classic vintage piece. How do I make this modern and sexy? Because the audience, you know, needs to be wider. Lucy's been given one mannequin, and her challenge is to create a window display that makes a modern fashion statement. Lucy's got the pick of collections from some of the world's top designers, everyone from Alexander McQueen to Vivienne Westwood. But a bit worryingly, she's also got the key to Liberty's prop room.
I think I'd like to start with a dress, because this is my danger area.
If you look at the other windows, they tend to be one key piece for the dressing, and then it's gone from there. So there's some amazing pieces around the store.
When there's just one mannequin in a window, it's vital the outfit she's wearing makes a big impression.
It's a relatively new brand. It's only been last...
There is an art to this, and that's what Lucy has to learn. She thinks it's about props, and it all ends up looking faded and a little bit naff, and now we've got to give that glamour to it, and that's the biggest task she's got today.
Oh, I think that's lovely. What?
And even...
Oh, Jonathan Saunders. Oh, I love that. I love that.
I think the silk dress by young Scottish designer Jonathan Saunders is beautiful, but too understated.
I kind of feel like something in a bold colour, actually, maybe.
I've got the McQueen red one up there. It's quite bold.
This stunning Alexander McQueen bag has graced the pages of every fashion magazine, so it's a great choice, but it must be displayed prominently.
Look at the props in this window. That big urn needs to come out. You've got three tables and an urn in a window that is 6 foot wide. Talk about a pig's ear. Oh, that's going to go over. Oh, Jesus, help us all. Pickled shoes.
But there's another problem.
I mean, I can see the mannequin's bits from here. All I can see is her legs apart in the window with her fanny out. Lucy, come out, sweetheart. Lucy, OK, I'm going to stand you back
Right. Now, let's just take a look at this. What can you see?
I can see the bag is lost completely.
Completely lost the
Yes.
bag.
I think that's probably the wrong thing. there.
Totally
Yes.
wrong. I'm overpropped, and you've ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 tables, an urn, a silver ball, and about 2 pieces of product, a handbag and a dress. Who is the hero in here? The product.
Yes.
You have to love that product. You have to love it, and at the moment you love the props.
Yeah.
And one more thing before we go back in. Look this way.
Oh, yes, I did. I was very aware of... No, I mean, I really wouldn't let that happen in my window, believe me. And I've never, ever done a window as crappy as that. Because actually, I don't think the dress is the greatest dress on that dummy, which is my fault, because...
You know what, Lucy, let's move the dress.
Because it's silk.
Second time around, Lucy spots a red-hot Paul Smith wrap dress. This will make a much bigger impact. Go on, Lucy, be ballsy. It's time for Tamara to deliver her verdict.
Right. I can see what you're trying to do. The biggest problem is it's very disjointed. None of it is kind of sitting together. She hasn't got enough on. You could have ladled a lot more product onto her and made her much more glamorous. Maybe you could have put some fabulous stockings on, put an ankle bracelet on. You could have put so much more. You could have had, whole piles of luggage there. I think you would have been wiser to just gone, OK, I'm going to make a fashion statement in a fashion window, and then gone for it. You could have put that big handbag on her, and then turned the whole thing into a really strong fashion statement.
I have to say that I'm quite disappointed with how the window is. I'm not proud of it. I'm not at all happy about it, actually. I think it looks really boring.
Right.
Is that I am used to dressing things, so it actually really kind of quite hurts me that this is so crap. I mean, it's
You
just
could have
like,
gone mad.
Yes. Yeah, I quite like to cry, actually.
Lucy's failure today has led her to doubt not just her own abilities, but the entire future of her business.
I feel that I should have been able to do this. I think that's what's really pissing me off. My ultimate feeling is that I'm going to fail, and I've got to get rid of that. It's kind of... I've got to cry, shit.
Only you know whether you can do this, and I'll give you the tools. I want you to know I'm not your fairy godmother. What I want to do to you is to bring out your potential. I want to bring out the best in you and your talent, and I will do, OK? And then you can decide where you go with that. It's tough for Lucy right now, I think her confidence has taken a big knock because the business is in a right old mess. But she's just got to put that behind her now. She now needs to focus on what these women of York want in a fashion boutique and deliver it to them. Lucy's current collection is an unfocused mess of dull daywear and outrageous vintage. So no wonder she can't sell it to York's 30-something stylish women.
Yeah, a bit see-through for me, that one.
Okay.
Don't like that at all.
OK.
Don't even ask me about that one. No.
To stand a chance of surviving on the high street, Lucy has to attract these women to her shop. The only way she'll do that is by buying clothes for them and not for herself. I've asked her to meet me in Leeds, the North's capital of fashion, and home to Harvey Nichols. Lucy's challenge is to prove she's up to the job of dressing her potential customers. So, Lucy, I found you 4 women from York who should be your target customer. I've found 4 professional women who are exactly who Lucy should be selling to. They love to shop, have money, and know exactly what they like.
I'm looking for something a little bit different, a little bit unique, something a little bit funky that you wouldn't necessarily get in the high street.
In a particular season, I might buy a few pieces rather than going out and buying a whole new wardrobe.
There's no point going out there and buying the latest smock or something like that if you're going to look absolutely ridiculous in it.
These are people living, eating, breathing in your town, and you have to understand them.
Lucy now has 1 hour to find an outfit for each of them.
Just literally got to pick clothes for people I can't see in the flesh, so I am quite nervous about it.
She needs to pick from a range of understated and chic designer names that these York women love.
The things that I kind of veer towards, I find it difficult actually to go away from them, and I don't know where to go.
No, she's running around all over the place, and actually what she now needs to do is to really focus and think of these individual people.
I love that. I think that's fabulous.
I can see what's going on over there, and I'm already having a look. Look, I'm going to show you something.
What are you doing?
What do you
to
think
me?
I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing?
Measuring the height on me.
No. What do you think I'm doing? Put those on there.
What are you doing?
Spot the difference, Lucy.
It's exactly what I'm wearing.
Well, who are you dressing?
These days, well, I think that...
I think that 3 dresses like I would wear might be right. It's not about just picking a collection. It's about editing it. It's about knowing that core customer, knowing what that customer wears, knowing their lifestyle and inspiring them. And picking that out is the biggest role a buyer has. And that's a real skill.
I can't have another wrap dress. It'd be too boring. Come back, because I think that's...
That's very you again.
I suppose how do you know?
It's you, because you love it, because it's a bit of embroidery. You know, you'll have that hanging as curtains next week.
With a few pointers, Lucy stops picking clothes for herself and starts thinking about the 4 women she's got to dress.
OK, I'm going to pretend that I am 30 again and I've got very long legs. 5'3", size 10. Well, I'll go for a mauve, purple, in size 10, which I've got.
But Lucy just couldn't resist a bit of theatrical clobber.
There's a lot on here that's very wearable, Lucy, but... You love it. I knew you'd put that in. Do you know, I said before, I said the old Elizabethan jacket will be right in there.
Back in York, it's time for Lucy to meet the mystery women.
Just round here. Hi, ladies. Hello. This is Lucy.
Hello.
No, they're only smiling because you've come in with bags of Harvey Nicholas.
What will they make of the clothes she's chosen for them?
What do you think of that one? I can see you're not really responding to the cardigan.
They're all like this. They're all like this.
Yeah,
Not sure about that.
quite plain.
I picked this one for you.
Okay, now that one I'm liking because it's got a little bit more style, a little bit more cut, a little bit more character to it.
This is what I chose for you.
No, I love that. That is fantastic. Love purple.
And then
I think that one's lovely.
There was something else.
The jacket probably is a little bit too much for me, too much of the frills and things. I probably wouldn't go for that.
I hope Lucy's listening. These women just don't share her love of wacky fashion.
There's that little dress.
So that's really nice. I love that A-line cut of skirt. Yeah, so, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the girls, the girls.
This purple print dress by Issa is great for flattering sexy curves.
Lucy, I think you look stylish.
Yeah, I love the dress, love the colour.
Love the colour on you.
What does Amanda think of this little black dress?
Yeah, I like it, yeah. More of a business evening dress for me, but I like the shape, the cut, the style.
A Diane von Furstenberg dress in a bold print is a great wardrobe staple.
Gail.
I don't think I'd wear it in the evening, but fabulous for the day. I'd wear it at work.
Rebecca, on the end.
It's definitely not something I would go for normally, but I do like it. It fits really nicely. It's really lovely.
The whole point of this is that you have a vision in your head of your customer. You know, they are there.
It's been the most amazing experience to have real people to sort of try things out with and to get their feedback.
And that's what you have to think of. No longer you. You're dressing them.
She's learned some lessons today. You know, she really has, but She now needs to start applying them. We've got 1 week to complete the transformation of Selkie from junk shop to chic boutique. So I've instructed Lucy to start the mammoth task of clearing out the clutter.
I realise what mad things I've got in here. It's the work of a lunatic, actually. I never really noticed.
It's also time to make space for wearable, desirable collections that the women Lucy's met will find exciting. So it's good riddance to Widow Twanky's wardrobe.
But it's very good getting rid of it all. I'm very glad I'm doing it because it makes me feel that there's going to be a new start.
Now Lucy finally understands that she needs to buy clothes for her customers and not for herself. I want to push her further. There's been no rhyme nor reason to the way Lucy picks a collection, but in every other fashion retailer, from the smallest boutique to the biggest department store, the buyer always follows a few golden rules. I've arranged for Lucy to meet one of the best fashion buyers in the business and learn the trade secrets firsthand. Hello, Anna. Anna, I want to introduce you to Lucy.
Hi,
Lucy. Anna Garner. And Anna is head of fashion buying at Selfridges, which is a huge job. Anna selects clothes from literally hundreds of designer collections, and her decisions have contributed to Selfridges' enormous success. And Anna's going to help you today, but I want you to watch us when we start looking at the buy and how we approach it. I've picked just 2 spring-summer collections from designers that I think are perfect for Lucy's new customers. Toca is famous for its feminine dresses, timeless design and wonderful prints. Californian label Graham & Spencer is an easy-to-wear jersey and cotton collection. The best buyers use a simple system to identify the key pieces in a collection. OK, now the 3 categories that I want you to think about every time that you do a buy is, number 1, what's my statement piece, OK? What's the piece that I might put in my window, the piece that makes the customer come into the shop? Now, it might not be your best seller, OK, but it's certainly the one that gives the catwalk appeal to your collection.
I think it's
Anna's pulled out a couple of statement pieces to show Lucy.
I love the fabric. I think the silk is very pretty. I think the print's pretty. I mean, I think it's a nice statement piece. Definitely would look great on a mannequin.
Right.
I was thinking of this as a statement piece as well. I mean, I love the trapeze silhouette.
Cool.
I think that's probably something the press would be picking up on as well.
The next one is your volume piece, right? Now, how would you describe that, Anna?
I think the volume pieces are things that you can sell day in, day out, and it's the cash cow, basically, behind your business. It's your bread and butter.
Volume's the trade term for a timeless classic, something you'll wear season after season.
For spring. This could be a volume piece. It could be a bit of a volume piece, yeah. The tunic, it's a simple piece, and someone may just want to wear that over a pair of jeans. I think our 2...
The third category is the bestseller. It's this season's fashion must-have and will instantly update your wardrobe.
In terms of, this is great for a lot of different body shapes and types.
Bestseller?
I'd say that's up there with one of the bestsellers, definitely. Okay. I think the bestseller as well could be something that's literally just for that season, so they know they need to buy it now, because in the next time maybe they come to see you, it'll have sold out.
Okay. This is fundamental. This is the backbone of any retailer's learning how to buy. And I've given you the 3 key categories that you should be always thinking about when you buy. And it doesn't matter how fabulous we make your shop and how many people we get in there, if they turn up and they haven't got the right product in there, there's no shop.
I know, that's such a frightening thought.
I've asked Lucy to pick just 3 items from these collections: a statement, bestseller and volume piece. I want her to really focus on the business of buying and put aside her own personal taste.
I do find it quite difficult.
She must remember those women in York. Not everything here is suitable for them. She needs to make sure her choices will be.
Obviously, the most striking sort of dress here is that one. But I would be careful of buying that one because I'm not sure about the colour.
To add to the pressure, I've asked Anna to make a selection too. If Lucy's been listening, she should pick the same.
I think that I'm sometimes muddling statement piece with bestseller. that might be a bestseller, but I do love this. I find this quite challenging because my customers generally don't like to spend too much money on a sort of everyday dress. Flicking rather desperately. It's quite sweet. As a volume piece, there's some great T-shirts here, but it's just deciding which one.
So how has Lucy done? Has she made the same choices as Anna? So, bestseller, what did you choose?
A sort of purpley aubergine dress that was quite shaped.
God, let's get the Maharaja of whatever. Perfect. Yes, good
We
girl.
love that.
Lucy's right. A shift dress in this season's hot colour purple is bound to be a bestseller. OK, volume.
I chose the navy dress with anchors and mermaids on it.
Now, volume is the difficult area. We were talking about that. We went for this.
It's quite a simple sweater, I think, if you look at it at first glance. But actually, I don't think you'd be able to get this quality and this detail and just the neckline, maybe from a high street brand.
Lucy needs to remember that a volume piece is timeless. Naval prints are big next summer, but will go out of fashion again, whereas this red jumper is a classic. And the last one, your statement piece you chose?
I chose the long orange pattern dress.
Ah, well done, Dan. Lucy, look how... Did you choose it to make that sort of statement with the boob hanging out?
Well, that's the sort of thing I
is
used
the
to
statement.
do.
That's up for the ladies of York. She's spot on again with the dress. It would make a bold statement in Selkie's window and add the wow factor to anyone's wardrobe. OK, so not bad. 2 out of 3.
Great, that's good. Brilliant. I'm really pleased. Good.
Lucy's so impressed with these collections, she places an order for the new Selkie. I'm quite pleased with how Lucy did with that buy. Because when I first met her, she used to think, well, if I like that frock, everybody's going to like it. She's actually pulled her head out of the clouds and started to think like a professional retailer. Lucy's making great progress, but there's still a long way to go. With the launch looming, I'm back at Selkie to deal with another problem. Selkie has been losing over $2,000 a month, but instead of dealing with this, Lucy's been running scared. How often are you here in the shop?
I'm not here enough. I'm here... I try to be here for 2 days a week. I do get depressed when we're not doing well, so that actually inhibits me from coming in and doing it, because I just don't have... I just think I'm not going to do it, and, you know, I'm not going to make those sales, and I feel kind of bad.
That is something, Lucy, you have to deal with, because actually you are in a selling business.
Yes.
You know, and if you are avoiding coming in here, then that's going to filter down into the staff, and eventually that filters into the customer. Today I'm putting Lucy under pressure. I'm taking her away from the gentle streets of York and into a cutthroat retail environment to relearn the art of selling. Shoppers at Meadow Hall, Sheffield, have over 270 shops to choose from, and today they've got one more. I've given Lucy a pop-up shop and a product so hot she'll have the customers flocking. This is your shop for today. Oh my God. You are in the best position. You are a Vista. And if you can guess what you're selling...
Oh, tights.
Absolutely, not just any tights. You're selling this season's must-have, which is the coloured tights. Every girl will want a pair of these, and they are the tight of the moment. They are in every single colour. This little project is about sell, sell, sell. Coloured opaque tights have taken the fashion world by storm. They're the cheapest and coolest way to update your wardrobe. Grey and purple look great on everyone, and for the more daring, the hot colours are electric blue, red and cerise. Lucy's got 500 pairs to sell at £5 each. This is selling on a scale she's not used to. This isn't easy, you know. This isn't easy because it's actually like cold calling. When you've got a shop, someone comes into your shop. So they've made that decision to come into your space, but she's going outside her space and outside her comfort zone. I've decided to stand back and watch Lucy in action.
Hi, can I introduce you to some lovely tights that we've got on display today? Would you like to have a look at some coloured tights? Hi, would you like to come and look at my tights? Would you like to come look at my tights, please?
If Lucy doesn't make her first sale soon, I'll have to step in.
If I wanted tights, I'd go to Primark because they're cheap.
Well, they won't last as long as these. These are really nice and thick.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Lucy, when you've got them kind of wavering a bit, just talk to them just that these are the key fashion colours this season. You know, really hit it home to them with the knowledge that you have, you know. So, look, let me tell you, you can't go wrong by having 2 of these, at least, in your wardrobe. And with the season as it is, you are going to wear them.
Is that a dress?
Lucy needs to be confident about offering style advice. This is what customers will pay that little bit extra for. I mean, these, I think, just look gorgeous on. And these are so big this season. Do you see those 2 together, you know? I'm wearing these all this season.
I've seen her in those.
Yeah, and they look fantastic with anything. And the purple. I mean, they're so... You can wear them with anything. That's the great thing. And with a bit of guidance, Lucy starts to get it right.
They're fantastic. They're really good prices. They're Jonathan Aston. Great colours. This season's colours. Really makes your sort of outfit like now. It's very... I mean, have a look at the picture. Doesn't how great is that?
Yeah, I'm doing shopping, so I'll come back.
All right, hopefully we'll see you later.
Yeah. OK, thank you.
Bye. I'm learning, actually, that when you have a knockback, is that you mustn't let that affect you. You've got to keep getting up and up and up. And it doesn't bring you down, actually. Just, you know, ignore the non-sales and just go for the ones. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
You should show your legs. I bet you've got really fantastic legs.
Finally, Lucy's perfecting her patter and pushing the fashion.
They're £5. Like, something like you've got on is perfect, because when you wear something like that, it's a different outfit. Have 2 sensible and 1 crazy. So, go the colours of the season. You're going to go for some red? Okay, that's great. That's 15, please. Thank you very much indeed.
OK, Lucy, have you got on?
I think it's been quite good. I haven't lost count of how many I've sold.
Good. I've been watching you, and I've been really impressed by the fact that you've just gone and done it, haven't you?
I've been proactive, and it makes a huge difference because I know that I can do it, actually, and I have to go into my shop more and do it. And I enjoy it. I get a real buzz off it.
Lucy may have only sold 50 pairs, but she's learnt an important lesson. And with her passion for selling reignited, the future of Selkie looks brighter. Back in York, the relaunch of Selkie is only a few days away. So Lucy's shut-up shop and my team are in the process of transforming it into a glamorous boutique. I want to make the most of Selkie's huge floor space, and I think there's an opportunity for Lucy to expand the business and really stand out from the competition. Lucy's new customers will be York's stylish individual dressers, but they don't all need to be over 30. The city has a huge student population, and they, more than anyone, love to stand out from the crowd. Pulling in these young, hip students will be great for Selkie, and I've got a plan that will really appeal to Lucy's creative side. OK, Lucy, this room, we need to make it a destination. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this room your young designer room, OK? There's 18,000 students in this city, and nobody's really catering to them in that way.
I think that's such a brilliant idea.
You're going to be selling young designers at accessible prices, which will differentiate you from the high street. Now, all we've got to do is find the young designers. I've put a call out, and we're taking over the Grand Opera House for a day of auditions. We're looking for just 4 new talents, but with over 30 young designers already queuing, it's going to be tough.
Feeling really nervous. I'm a bit worried about what they're going to say about the things. I'm going to give it a good go, see what happens.
Joining Lucy and me on the judging panel is internationally acclaimed fashion designer Hamish Morrow.
Lucy, this is Hamish.
Nice to meet you.
Hamish is renowned for his effortless, glamorous designs that combine sportswear styling with couture workmanship. He's here to help Lucy spot designers who can produce collections that make bold, wearable fashion statements and, most importantly, will sell. You know, I think you've got to be really focused on your questions. Think about your customer, think about the price, think about the point of difference.
Hello.
First in is 21-year-old Becky Kane, who has an HND in fashion from York College.
My collection's kind of like childhood memory inspired, so I've tried to make it like a dolly mixture of fabrics, and it's all ditzy prints, and it's quite girly and feminine and cute, so...
Like you, Becky.
Don't know.
Are you wearing your own frock today?
This one's one of the ones I've made, yeah, as well. But I've tried to do quite basic things so that students and young people can wear them like 20 times over and change them just by adding a belt or a bow or something like that.
She stuck to the dress that she was wearing.
She'd be fine. If she was able to do 6, 7 of those for you in
different
great
fabrics.
colours, I reckon it could work.
Becky's pretty, versatile dresses are perfect for the student market.
Yes? Yeah. Right, Becky goes on the yes list.
Thank you. Bye.
But unfortunately, not everyone's as good.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Jacked.
And your label?
Is Jacked.
People with long arms.
When it comes on, it ruffles up and it's supposed to kind of look like a child wearing like an adult shirt.
Lucy, what have you got to ask? See, she's stumped.
Lunatic asylum came to my mind.
What's your name?
My name's Sarah Henderson, and I'm from a company called Trout & Pout.
Sarah launched her label a year ago. She already stocks 9 stores in the north of England. Could Selkie be number 10?
Just describe quickly for me the type of girls who wear your clothes.
OK, it's kind of young, fashionable people that want to wear something that's very unique and different.
I must say I quite liked it.
OK,
Yeah.
so is quite liked it a resounding yes?
Yes. It's a
OK,
yes.
2 down, 2 to go. But some of these designs would have Versace turning in his grave.
I've just chosen key quotes as well from... There was one from a playwright, Shakespeare, and one from Napoleon as well. And they were just all, like, about fashion.
They're all dead as well.
Yes. It says I love Yorkshire, so it's a laugh if you want to wear it, and I love Yorkshire, so I obviously made it because of that.
No.
No.
N-O.
No.
I got my inspiration when I was in America last year. I went in a restaurant and the walls were plastered with dollar bills and it was really cultural, so I decided I really wanted to get into leather. All my leathers are natural, so there's nothing... They are quite good for the environment. Leather, generally, is a really good thing.
All I can say is thank God for Sailor Return.
Clearly, some of this lot are still finding their way. But Jill Atkins has been running her own label for 2 years. Will her designs be right for our students?
I'm from Love Our Stuff, based in Leeds. I've just bought 3 of our best-selling pieces. This is the T-bar dress. Drapey at the front, it's a mini, it lifts up at the side. Kind of backless, just with the T down the back. That's made out of a PK fabric.
Visually complex, but they look easy to make.
Yeah.
Urban, contemporary.
And they're a good price.
What do we think?
Yes.
I think
First
it's a yes. I think it's quite a big yes.
This is Lucy's chance to nurture talent. And at just 17, Mary Benson is very young, but she's already got her dresses in 2 shops.
This is one of my best sellers, and this one goes in the window quite a lot. And, like, all the crazy cool girls go and buy it and then wear it on a night out because it's really cool. And sparkly.
How much is that one retail?
£60.
Tell me about the customers who wear your stuff, Mary.
They're kind of like me, just sparkly and like things like that, and they're just a bit crazy, so... And they all have nice hair.
Brilliant.
So, thank you.
She just gets that girl. You know, she is that girl, and there's enough bonkers chicks in the right bonkers way hanging around York that would wear that. Well, Mary Benson?
Yes.
For me, it's a big yes, I think.
Yes, me a big yes too. Great! Yee!
As well as Mary's kooky party dresses, we chose Becky Kane's pretty day wear.
I didn't think anything would come of it, but I'm really happy.
And 2 cutting-edge urban lines from Love Our Stuff and Trout & Pout.
Yeah, can't wait to get our stuff in the shop.
I'm very excited about it. It's such an opportunity, I think, for a shopkeeper and a designer to kind of get together. It feels different and new.
Selkie Selkie reopens to the public this evening, and Lucy's busy with the final preparations.
I'm very excited. I mean, I'm just longing to get it all straight, and then I'll feel fantastic. I'm a little anxious at the moment.
I'm backing York to lend a hand and see how everything's going. This feels like a fashion shop from outside. I know that this shop sells fashion. You know, last time I was here, it was like, you know, rations in the wall with the old bandages and the pram. Not quite strong enough, the window. I'm going to work on that with her. But it feels like a fashion business. That's what she's selling. Hello, Lucy.
Hi.
Look at you in your new shop, huh?
I know, isn't it fabulous?
So this already feels like a fashion shop. You know, the minute a customer comes into the shop, there is a garment that, you know, that they're inspired to touch and pick up, which is beautiful. 4 weeks ago, people thought Selkie was a junk shop. Now it's been transformed into a modern fashion boutique. Lucy's given her fabulous new collections from Graham & Spencer and Tocker pride of place in the front room. The back room used to be messy and confusing jumble of bric-a-brac. Having selected the best of Lucy's old stock, this room now contains Selkie's daywear. It feels like a wonderful open space where they want to be. What happens with the merchandising, because we've kept it really simple, is you actually see the pieces. You know, you had this before.
I know. We have some nice pieces that just weren't seen at all.
There used to be no reason to make the effort to go upstairs. It was just more of the same model and dodgy old clothes. Now, the second floor is offering the women of York something unique. Wonderful, wonderful, romantic, sexy dress room.
Doesn't it look lovely?
I mean, that's fantastic. We've created a dedicated and very glamorous dressing-up room. And the beauty about this room, Lucy, is it has space and a sense of luxury.
You get excited about the party you're going to, coming in here.
I will pay a premium for a dress in here, but look after me, style me and make me feel fabulous. In the final room, we've got collections that will attract a whole new crowd of customers and make Selkie stand out from every other shop on the high street. This feels great. 4 fabulous young designers that you should be promoting constantly. This is a point of difference for your business. This room and the dress room is what's going to set you apart from what other people are doing. You're not just another fashion shop. You're a shop that has destinations in it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's so great that we've got designers from the north, and it's not Portobello, it's here.
It's Yorkabello.
Exactly.
Fabulous. We're almost ready to open. But there's one crucial area of the shop that isn't promoting Selkie's new modern image, the windows. And I just think we need to pare this down again and get the right outfits in here, Lucy. See if you can find me one of those gorgeous black dresses that you've got.
What about this one? This is...
Yeah, that's great. My God, this is lovely, actually, this dress. I'm just a bit worried that for your first window, again, it has that slightly vintage appeal.
It does, and it's made out of an old parachute.
Oh, God help us. It would be if it was yours, Luce, wouldn't it? Selkie's new window has got to be eye-catching, and this gold dress is the perfect statement piece. And how fantastic does that look? Look at that. Does that feel like this is a modern fashion emporium? An emporium, Nayless.
It looks wonderful. God, that is a class act, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yes.
I'd go in there.
I should hope so.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to go in there now. Looks great. After weeks of hard work, Selkie is finally ready to receive its public.
We've actually got people waiting outside to come in, and I'm just dying to open those doors.
Tonight, Lucy's hosting a special shopping event to preview the new collections and launch the Young Designer Room.
We've got 4 new northern designers. These are amazing. Just Mary Benson.
They are adorable. Gorgeous. They're just there.
This is Lucy's chance to make a big impression on York's women by showing them she understands their taste and knows how they want to dress.
It looks stunning on you.
Is that the first sale, Lucy?
This is my first sale. I feel fantastic. It looks amazing. And it's so exciting having lots of people, actually, in the building. It feels alive.
It's quite a fun shop. It looks fun to sort of walk into. I've only been in 5 minutes and seen a few things I'd quite like to buy, definitely.
Some really good colours, some really nice shapes, and just some things that you instantly go, oh, I'd like to own that.
The young designer room is already drawing a crowd.
Yeah, it's very different to all, obviously, the high street shops that you get around here.
With designer Mary Benson working the room, Selkie will soon be the talk of the town.
This is one of my best-selling dresses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my favourite.
Oh, it's a really beautiful dress. I like the way it fits around the shoulders.
It's very sparkly.
Yeah, it is sparkly. I love a bit of sparkle.
The biggest change is Lucy herself. She's now confidently sharing her newfound passion and acting like a professional boutique owner.
No, but I mean, actually, you could wear it with trousers. Or,
I was thinking of leggings, really, but...
Oh, I think it's great. Have a look in the mirror. This is a simpler one. That's quite sweet too, isn't it, actually? It is.
The clearest sign that Selkie works is at the cash desk.
When you get it right in a town like this, people want to support local, and you can feel that energy. So it's here for her. It's all here for the grabbing, and people want this to work and are excited by it. She's just got to keep this going.
I felt the support today was really good, and they really got it as well. And it was such a variety of people who came. It was great.
By the end of the night, they've taken nearly £500, and for the first time ever, Selkie is buzzing. You've got a beautiful shop. Just enjoy it and make the most of it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Make money, Lucy.
Yes, bye-bye.
I actually feel very good about this. This is a great business in the heart of York with the right customer. I feel positive about it, but I'm going to keep an eye on Lucy because she just needs that. I'll be watching her.
It's 2 months since we relaunched Selkie, and there's now no mistaking the fact that it's a fabulous modern fashion boutique.
I think the most important lesson that Mary taught me was the product. Remember that you are selling a product. And actually, I had virtually no idea that that's what I was meant to be doing before. You haven't got a shop if you're not selling things, so you better sort of learn that pretty quick.
Lucy's newfound focus has given her the confidence to really take control of the business.
From being somebody who used to mainly kind of come in and then run home and hide and sort of put a pillow over my head, I'm now very much in the shop. So I am the manager, really.
And as I hoped, Lucy's biggest success story is the Young Designer Room, which has attracted a whole new crowd.
Some of the designers are just so popular, it's incredible. As soon as we get their stuff in, it just sells. And in fact, it's quite difficult to keep up with the demand.
Lucy's finally pulled her head out of the clouds and become a professional retailer.
I won't be doing Narnia anymore.